Few minutes to myself, all alone in the house. I wonder what I could be doing. Oh, that looks good. Good morning and welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna eat and train like participants of Phoenix Rising. You may be asking, what is Phoenix Rising? Well, if you don't know, because you don't follow my main channel, I'm actually an online health and fitness coach. That's what I do when I'm not filming videos. And the Phoenix Rising is a program, an 8-week transformation program that I've put together to help people get into the habit of eating healthy, eating whole foods, exercising, and transform their body and mind. It's not just about losing body fat. It's about a transformation, and a transformation can be anything. I'm very proud of my girls. They've been doing fantastically well. They put together some amazing food porn, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to create some of your recipes because they just look delicious, and that's what we're going to do today. And I'll take you through quite possibly an arm day later as well. We'll see. But first, we need to go and get some food shopping. Excuse my head hair, I've been wearing a hat. First thing we're gonna make is we're gonna make some quinoa hotcakes. I've already cooked up the quinoa, which I shouldn't have done. I should have measured out the portion because it's a portion of quinoa, and a portion of quinoa is 40 grams of uncooked quinoa. But I looked online and it kind of quadruples. Is that a word? Yeah, 4 times. It quadruples. So what I'll just do is I'll measure out 120 grams of quinoa, scoop of protein, egg whites. I'm gonna blitz all of that together, and then I'm gonna pan fry it, the mixture, and then I'm gonna serve that with some strawberries, which is my portion of fruit. And I believe that's 150 grams, the portion of strawberries, yes, 150 grams. And my fats are gonna be dark chocolate. The way I've designed the plan is that you are encouraged to eat portions of certain food groups. And depending on what plan you're on, you will know the amount where your portions are. But a portion of, for example, carbohydrates can be some fruit. It can be X amount of protein pasta, it can be X amount of sweet potato, whatever. I've also split up the categories into a high protein carbohydrate, a low protein carbohydrate, and the fats is a high fat protein and a low fat protein. And then the key is that you pick a mix from all the different food groups throughout your day, so you're eating a variety of foods. And then that way you're gaining a variety of different food sources, and it won't stay boring, so you don't feel like you're restricting. And the same with fats, for example, dark chocolate is a fat, but you can cook in butter, you can use hummus, you can use pesto, whatever. And then the portions are there for you to decide whatever you want to do. So there's quite a lot of freedom in it. And I didn't want to complicate too much about, oh, have this many grams of this. Obviously you do have to weigh out, but it's just going on portions. So some people have 2 portions of fat, some people have 2 portions of protein, depending on what their plan they're on, what stage, etc. Let's make some cakes, hot cakes. I actually have already prepared the quinoa. I boiled that down with some cinnamon and cardamom and cloves. So, don't know if it really tastes of it. Could taste the cinnamon through there. So, I'm going to just measure this out with the egg whites and the protein powder. have to say, this meal smells delicious. Especially all the seasonings, or the spice, not seasoning, the spices coming through. So, let me have a bite. Give you my thoughts. I don't really like quinoa. It's kind of inoffensive, but I'm not a big fan. But let's try it out in the cake. Very nice. Tastes healthy. You can taste, it has a sort of earthy quinoa taste to it. But because there's a lot of cinnamon in there, the cloves, the cardamom, it kind of mildens the earthiness. It kind of takes it away from it. It definitely needs some syrup because they are a little bit dry. But really nice. The fresh fruit on top is a must though. Contrary to the popular beliefs, I don't tend to put people on a low carb plan. Just because I like to diet low carb and I prefer to eat that way, that doesn't necessarily mean I recommend other people eating like that. Because I know my body. Sometimes with clients, if they really want to do keto, I can help them out with that. Or sometimes we do adjust the macro ratios depending on what they're doing and if they stagnate and stuff like that. But for the most part, I just split up the macros fairly evenly. I think fats are important. I think protein is important. I think there's time and place for carbohydrates as well. So once I finish eating this, we're going to go train. And I've let my food digest, give it an hour or so. But we will go and train. And then what we'll train is we're going to do the second training block of the intermediate arms and shoulders, which I'm quite excited about. So for the Phoenix Rising, I recommend that people do half an hour of cardio a day, at least half an hour, or at least catch up on the non-training days, do an hour. I went for a walk already this morning and I'm just gonna go now to go and do my weight training. And I also recommend that people do some high intensity cardio if they want to on their training days. So that's what I'll do as well, half an hour of high intensity cardio after I've done my weight session. I'm gonna first warm up. I do recommend people to warm up properly through their joints before they go into weight training. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to take 5 minutes on the cross trainer and then I'm going to do 5 minutes of sort of like yoga style exercises before we get into the training. So the Phoenix Rising is for anybody of any skill level. I don't necessarily recommend it for people who are very advanced, simply because you probably won't get a lot out of it. But if you're familiar with the gym or you're completely new to the gym, the plans are fine for you. I film all of the workouts, I give you all of the training cues, I am available in DMs, and I help people out that way. So I'll give you a walkthrough of how to do the exercises, what I want you to pay attention to. And then, if you've got questions, you can always let me know. Time on the tempo, it looks so innocent, but wait until you do it higher reps. Trust me, this is what, 15-20 kilos? It's heavy to curl. I can do spider curls, quick ones with 10-15 kilos aside. Time on the tempo, 15 reps, no way. But I find this is a tip from me to you. If you want to grow your biceps, slow down your eccentric. Focus on the contraction and slow down your eccentric. Don't wrap it out, just take your time, hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I really love doing is have the incline. This is for a finishing exercise. Use some dumbbells and lower for 10 seconds. Full extension, bring him up, just until the contraction, full extension. Lower for 8 to 10 seconds, until you cannot lift your arm up anymore. Then, train beyond failure. So force them up, lower. Come up, lower. Until you can't do that anymore. Do 2 or 3 sets like that at the end of your arm exercise, and I can guarantee noodle arms. Right, so I'm showered, hair washed, and I'm gonna cook some salmon in the oven, because the next 2 dishes I'm gonna have are salmon dishes. I'm not actually hungry at all, to be honest. Those pancakes, or hotcakes I should say, were very filling. But for now I'm just gonna season this salmon with some fish seasoning, that's it. And because I don't want to have it take on too many flavors, because I'm gonna do other dishes with them. I was going to do 3 more dishes, one being an egg white omelette. That looked really delicious, but I'm not doing that now anymore. So whoever sent me that, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it anymore. Simply because I'm just not going to have enough time to eat everything that I want to eat today. So I'm just going to cook up the salmon, start preparing some of the other food I'm going to have. I'm going to have some salmon fish cakes, and I'm also going to have some salmon with high protein pasta. So a great way to increase your protein intake, if you don't want to eat too much like animal source of protein, is you can opt for high protein pastas. I'm using an edamame fettuccine here today. The person that made the recipe that I'm kind of following, they used chickpea pasta. I couldn't find chickpea pasta here. I had a look in the shop, but I didn't see it. So it's kind of, the macros are going to be fairly similar on this. So it's just a serving of high protein pasta, which is per 100 grams, only 15 grams of carbohydrates. But it does have 43 grams of proteins. So for this next meal we have protein pasta with salmon, some Greek yogurt, well I had this Bulgarian yogurt, buffalo yogurt, parmesan for fat, some spinach, some red pepper, and that's it. I put a little bit of lemon through there as well. So let's try this out. It's a lot of food. Alright. Needs more salt, but that's my own fault. Actually, this edamame pasta is very nice. It's got a very nice consistency. It's a bit chewy. Can't really taste the salmon, to be honest, which is not a bad thing. I put some mint through there as well, mint. I wanted to do basil, but I picked up mint. But it's quite nice, it's quite fresh. But it does need salt. So this protein pasta does have very good macros. It's very high in protein and pretty low in carbs. I don't know if it's 100 grams raw or cooked. So I'll just put it down as maybe like 50, because I have around 4 servings there, I reckon. 4 bowls like this. So it's probably around 50. Better with the salt. But yeah, this is quite nice. I'm gonna enjoy this. Next up, I'm gonna prepare my salmon fish cakes, which is going to be salmon sweet potato. Now, the way I prefer to make them and the recipe I recommend for my clients in the examples of food ideas that they can follow, I give food ideas, yes, so that people don't get bored with eating the same things, chicken and broccoli. It doesn't have to be like that. I like to make my salmon sort of like Thai inspired, with some lime juice, some coriander, some chilies, and you know, just season that and bring it all together and then pan fry it. Now, I can't use chilies because he can't stand them. And I don't have coriander. I haven't seen it in Bulgaria. I don't know if it's a seasonal thing. I don't know if they're just doing it in the supermarket that I shop. So oh yeah, spring onion should go through there as well, spring onion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm literally just gonna do a cake, fish cakes with sweet potato, salmon, an egg to bind, and some onion. So here is the third and last proper meal, except for the snacks. I'm eating quite low calorie today. I feel like a lot of this food is very filling, which is great if you're trying to cut. I will probably run this again, maybe towards the end of the Phoenix Rising, at the end of the 8 weeks, just so I have a few more recipes and do some non-fish ones. I honestly didn't think about it. I just saw recipes I liked and used them, but let's try this out. Really nice, especially with the homemade mayonnaise. I just don't understand how restaurants can mess up fish cakes because they're so easy to make. So easy to make. But there's especially something very nice about the combination of salmon and sweet potato. To me, this doesn't even taste like a diet meal. This is absolutely amazing. The sweet potatoes left over and the salmon that's left over, I'm definitely going to make more of these. I wasn't intending, not today, tomorrow, but absolutely. I highly, highly recommend you make this. And it will be even nicer if you could put like an East Asian twist on it. With the coriander, a bit of lime, some spring onions, maybe a bit of garlic. Highly, highly recommend. That was delicious. So earlier I did have another half a serving of that pasta because I was quite hungry afterwards. I've just put in all my calories. So I've eaten around 1800 calories without the half a portion of the pasta, which means that with that half a portion I'll probably have around 2000, like I said earlier, because that was around 400 calories. So yeah, 2000, which is a decent day of eating. I do not feel remotely hungry. I wasn't even hungry eating that, but it was so delicious that it wasn't a problem going down. That's what she said. But no, it was really, really nice. I will probably have my snacks in a couple of hours time, just watching some TV, chill out, have a Diet Coke. If you want to have a diet drink, that's fine. Just make sure you drink your water as well. But if you here and there want to have a diet drink, I'm perfectly fine with that. Sugar-free alternatives, I'm perfectly fine with people using that. Just moderation. Moderation is key. I also firmly believe in cheat meals just as a diet break, just to not worry about cooking. But honestly, if you can basically pretty much eat whatever you want to eat anyway, you just kind of have to... All you have to do is measure out your portions. You know, you probably don't even really need a cheat meal, to be honest. But I understand, like, I like to go out for dinner. Who doesn't like to go out for dinner, right? So... Alright guys, so that's the end of that video. I should clarify, I actually do one-to-one coaching as well, so if you're interested in that, let me know. Email me, my email details are down below. I charge £70 a month for bespoke plans, weekly check-ins and all of that. If you're interested in doing the Phoenix Rising program, I will run it again, don't worry. I'll start it again probably in April, because in March I have to pick the winners. Yes, the best transformations will win money. My audience decide the winners in March. And then I will also advertise again for a new for the new cycle. I will definitely do something like this again. I don't know if I'll do it at the end of this period. I might do it. Maybe I'll do it in March or something like that. Comment, like, subscribe, dislike the video if you disliked it. Let me know down below why. Insert a salmon or fish emoji if you've made it this far. And yeah, I'll be back next week with a new video. Ciao.